Good afternoon from Los Angeles, everyone. It's Alyssa Corum here with Ken Shreve. We are looking at the S&P 500 here, which we will get to in a minute. On today's show, we're taking a look at financial stocks as well as Uber and TradeWeb. It's Alyssa Corum here with Ken Shreve, and let's take a look at the major indexes. We saw gains to cap off the week here, most notably led by small caps. Another big gain today for the Russell 2000, up about 1.2%. And we also have the S&P 500, which will show you up about 0.5% to close out the week. The Dow also seeing a burst of gains here towards the end of the session. So what do you make overall of what we've seen this week? Because we're still awaiting a little bit of headlines potentially that could come out over the weekend related to the ongoing trade war.
Yeah, nice close for the stock market. Nasdaq and S&P 500 up about 0.5% or so. The Russell indexes are being rebalanced as of the close today, so we could see some volume come in late. But I know you and Dave were talking about the outperformance of the Russell 2000 yesterday, up 1.9%. It was up more than 1% today. So pretty encouraging action in small caps. And yeah, you mentioned the meeting between President Trump and President Xi from China happening on Saturday. So we could get some clarity on the China trade war on Monday, and we'll see if it will be a catalyst for the stock market or not.
We will have to see, but it was also a strong day for financial stocks. We're going to take a look at a triple leveraged financial ETF from Direction. Banking stocks getting a boost today after late Thursday. Positive results from the annual stress tests, and then in reaction to that, boosting dividends and announcing share buyback programs.
Yeah, so Bill Peters had a lot of coverage today on the homepage of investors.com. Banks passed their stress tests with flying colors Thursday. A lot of them, like you said, announced share buybacks, increased dividends. Of course, Goldman Sachs, JP Morgan, big gainers in the Dow Jones today. But we're going to take a look at the Direction Financial Bull 3 times ETF. And this is a stock that had a really solid day. At last check, it was up about 3%. It's kind of flirting with a breakout on the daily chart here over a handle buy point of 74.10, but good volume in this ETF today, and overall a pretty strong day for financials.
Yeah, that's right. When you look below the surface, we are now seeing some bases form for this group and some breakouts after, quite a long period of them not really being that exciting of a group.
Well, that's absolutely true, and it actually remains to be seen whether or not they're going to be able to, provide sustained market leadership. The 10-year Treasury yield today is still right around 2%. So typically a low interest rate environment is not good for banks because it hurts their profitability and their net interest margins. So good day for financials today, but it's a little unclear whether or not they're going to be able to provide sustained leadership. But good outperformance today, and we'll see if it can continue.
Yep, we will be keeping an eye on that, and we also have our eyes on Uber today, which gained about 2.3%, breaking out of another base pattern here. It's, a relatively young IPO, early in its potential journey. Fundamentals, of course, remain a question, but a breakout to a new high today for Uber.
Yeah, this is definitely cloudy fundamentals at best. People talk about the revenue growth at Uber, which continues to be strong, but it has been decelerating fairly sharply in recent quarters. Of course, they're not profitable, and market really doesn't have any grasp on when they're going to be profitable, but good technical action for the stock today. Closed off its highs, but it did close above a 45.85 entry point. There was decent volume today, and really it wasn't that long ago when people were really kind of bashing Uber for just really not a great IPO, not a good first day of trading, and but the stock seems to be getting its house in order.
Yeah, and this did originally try to break out of an IPO base with a 45.10 entry, but that quickly failed here. You can see it pulling down to that pink bar there. That's our sell area, but it's quickly recovered, forming this new base right next to that, and is again in new highs. Yeah,
so 45.85 was a legitimate entry here. Would have been nice to see a close at highs with the market closing at highs, but not a bad day at all for Uber, and we'll see if it can follow through next week.
And elsewhere in the IPO space, we are keeping tabs on TradeWeb markets here. It gained some 2.8% today, and it is closing in on another buy point, and a little bit of similarity here with Uber if you want to compare it, a base next to a base in the early stages of it being public. We are seeing that here for TradeWeb.
I think one of the things the stock market has going for it right now is that a lot of new issues continue to act pretty well, and TradeWeb is another top performing new issue. It operates an electronic trading platform for institutional clients, hedge funds, and the like. And yeah, good day of outperformance today. It's approaching I think it's a 46, 43 entry point. It's a volatile stock. Fundamentals pretty decent, so it's an interesting company, and in a good technical setup. We always say you want to get a good growth stock in the early stages of a move, and we'll see if this one can eventually break out to new highs.
Yep, it's about 6% below a potential entry here, so we will be keeping our eyes on TradeWeb. All right, everyone, thanks for joining us today, and make sure you're heading to investors.com for all the latest stock market news and analysis. And of course, it's Friday, so that means our weekly features are either out now on the web or coming out over the weekend, so make sure you are keeping your eyes peeled for all of that. And you can also check out our latest podcast episode, which just dropped yesterday. If you go to investors.com/podcast, our own David Chung was on the show, so you can find that whether you're on social media or on our site at investors.com/podcast.
Sounds good.
All right. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you right back here next week.